Good afternoon, good afternoon. So today, boys and girls, what I'm doing now, I'm going through food security. I'm going through food security. This is the 2019 paper, going through food security, so that at least you get prepared for the end of the year exam in as far as geography is concerned. Start the following case study and answer the questions that follow. Let's go through the question and read. About 4.2 million in 13 Southern African countries will suffer food insecurity between now and March 2020. Following low rainfall in 2019-18 growing season, the highest number of people who would be more insecure until the next harvest in March 20 were the South Africa, 13.7 million, followed by the DRC, 13 million, Zimbabwe, 5.5 million, Zambia, 2.3 million, Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, where the grain deficit had been worsened by cyclones that hit these countries in March this year, were importing maize. Significantly increase in number of food insecure people from last year have been recorded in Zambia 144%, Zimbabwe 128, Eswatini 98, Mozambique 85, DRC 80%, the report is saying. The increase indicates a cumulative effect of persistent drought conditions compounded by floods, pest, and conflict in the DRC and northern Mozambique, economic challenges, and chronic structural issues. So these are some of the things that have actually contributed. Okay, these drivers are exacerbated by climate change. So this is what comes from the extract. Okay, so when it comes to food security, guys, we have to know what food security is. We are talking about a situation whereby people have got access to food, have got access to a healthy, productive, have got access to food for a healthy and productive life. That's what food security is all about. So people have got access to healthy food that affords them a productive life. So that's what food security is all about. So name 3 things that the author in the article is identified as the cause of food insecurity in South Africa. He has talked about floods. Okay, he has talked about floods. He has talked about pests. And he has talked about droughts as well. Not just drought, but persistent droughts. That's what I've been talking about. We can go here and just to cross-referencing, okay? Number 1, food insecurity, of course, low rainfall. That's part of the drought. The highest number, of course, what else? Grain deficit by cyclones. Of course, that's the floods. Cyclones now. That's part of the floods. Okay. Then the last part, we are saying now the persistent dry conditions, part of the drought, of course, and the pests that has been also being included there. So let's move on to the next one. Name 3 countries with the highest increase in percentage of food insecure people from last year in descending order, which means from the highest to the lowest. You're supposed to put it in that order, from the highest to the lowest. What do we have from the highest to the lowest? Of course, what do we have from the highest to lowest? We have got Zambia, highest, followed by Zim, then followed by Eswatini. We are getting this from here, guys. Zambia. Where is it? Zambia, Zimbabwe, Eswatini. From the highest to the... Okay, that's what we are doing. So which means this one, of course, is the lowest, but we are flowing from the highest. 1, 2, 3. Then 3. That's what the question says. It says the 3. The 3 from the highest in the descending order. Okay, that's what we have then. What does it mean that the maize is a staple crop? What does it mean? 8.3. What does it mean? Food that is eaten off, or food that is standard for their diet? It is food that is eaten off, the food that is standard for their diet. That's what we refer to as the staple food. That is eaten or standard for their diet. That is what we refer to as the staple food. Then 8.4. Describe two negative effects of food insecurity have on the Southern Africa. What are the negative effects that we, in as far as food insecurity is concerned? 8.4, we are talking about it can cause many people to leave countries, making the countries to lose their workforce. It can cause people to migrate, to leave their country, making people to lose their workforce. People can also die. People can get ill, malnourished because they don't have food, okay? Economy economically the countries could have a downfall. So that's what you're supposed to include there. So basically we have said that it can cause people to leave their countries, making the country lose the workforce because they are migrating to countries where there is food, because they are moving away because of famine, moving away because they do not have access to food. Number two, people could die. They become ill, malnourished because they do not have access to a health food that makes their life productive. Okay, they can economically, the countries could also have a downfall, which means it negatively affects the economic growth. That's basically what we're talking about. Discuss in a paragraph what the term food security means and what the South African can do to fix the food shortage problem. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to define what food security is. Okay, so when a country has reliable access to enough food that is affordable and nutritious. So when a country has got reliable access to food supply that is affordable and nutritious, that's what food security is all about. It's not only about access, it's about affordability. Are you able to afford? That's basically what we are talking about. Food security, when a country has reliable access to enough food that is affordable and nutritious. So we have defined here what food security is. Okay, people, what do they have? They've got access to enough food that is affordable and nutritious. That's food security. What Southern Africa can do to fix the problem of food shortage? Okay, what can they do? They can use GMOs. Like you've seen with what South Africa has done, it has actually helped to increase the agricultural productivity or farm productivity, farm production, GMO crops. They can use fertilizers more efficiently because it improves the fertility of the soil, which improves the yields. They can improve irrigation systems to lower water use. You can actually use as many crops as possible for human consumption and not animal feed. They can reduce food waste, get other countries involved, which means also get goods from other countries as well. If we have a deficit, we can also teach children about growing food and food waste. Those are some of the ways in which we can actually help to make sure that we fix the food shortage problem. That's what we can do in order to make sure that we fix the food shortage problem. So boys and girls, this takes us to the end of our revision of our 2019 paper for grade 9. Please go through this paper, like, share, so that at least we can help to actually create or make more content that will help you in understanding your subject and passing as well. Thank you and have a blessed day.